on these mountain passes. The severe weather alert team's tracking winter weather advisories that could make your drive dangerous. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Montana McLaughlin. Well, brace yourselves for some more winter-like weather. Severe weather alert team meteorologist Matt Gray has been following the storm. He's live in the weather center. Matt.
Yeah, some of us woke up to snow this morning. Well, guess what? We're probably going to do it again here tonight. Another winter weather advisory stretching all the way from Lost Trail Pass in the Salmon area all the way over to Bozeman Pass and north to White Sulphur Springs and the Deer Lodge area and Garrison. So, three main passes that are going to see the brunt of this. That's Bozeman Pass, Homestake Pass especially, and Lost Trail Pass from the slushy snow that will or has already begun to fall in some of those areas. So especially the high elevations, you get above 4,000 feet, snow-covered roads will be quite likely as we head through the rest of the evening. Also got a moderate outlook for some poor visibility as it has been a little breezy around the region today. You could see that increasing snow showers heading towards Butte. We'll have more on this storm coming up.
Thank you, Matt. Well, all the snow and rain this year is made for the worst flooding conditions in decades in parts of northeastern Washington. You can even see the proof of it right behind me here. A house that has slid into a creek. Here's what we know right now, though. Roads are closed and emergency crews are coping with landslides, mudslides, and high water. They say last year's bad fire seasons contributing to the problem, and lots of snow and rain this year is to blame for the rest. Well, here's the area we're talking about. It's all around Republic, Washington in the northeastern part of the state. These pictures tell the story. Two highways washed out, one because of a damaged bridge and the other ripped apart by floodwater. Power is out in places and there's no estimate on when it will come back. And the worst isn't even over yet. There's 6 feet of snow in the mountains and 4 feet of frost underground. Well, if you're heading out to any of Montana's national parks in the next 2 weeks, listen up. Your entry is free. It's all part of the nation's National Parks Week. It begins tomorrow and ends next Sunday, the 23rd. But before you go, park officials say there are a few things you should know. If you're planning to head to one of the nation's 400 national parks over the next 2 weekends, park officials say be warned. You might find some roads and trails closed. National park officials say that's because billions of dollars of park projects are waiting for repair and waiting for congressional funding. Park officials say altogether there are about $12 billion worth of maintenance waiting for repairs. They're for things like sewage systems, roads, or drinking water. They say some projects have even been waiting for repairs for decades. So we checked with Montana. In our state, there are about $308 million worth of repairs for 7 national parks or monuments. On the list, Glacier, totaling more than $179 million, Yellowstone needs $28 million, and Little Bighorn Battlefield needs $18 million worth of repairs. So what's being done? Officials from Restore America's Parks hope people will contact Congress. President Trump's been talking about a large infrastructure spending program, and park officials say some of these repairs could be made using that money.
Congress needs to invest funding in our national parks to address the maintenance needs. That's necessary to preserve our national park resources, but it's also necessary to preserve the local economies that depend on park resources.
But for now, park officials are still waiting to hear where the money will come from next. So while your admission the next 2 weekends is free, your access to the park may not be. Well, if you want to know how much money officials say they need for each park, find out by following the fast link at NBCMontana.com. Well, new details tonight on Whitefish's City Hall and parking structure. We've learned just how much it will cost to park there. We've been following this project for a couple of years, and now, according to city managers, the parking garage is set to be complete on May 15th. But it's currently more than $1 million over budget. You can find the new City Hall and parking structure here on the northeast corner of Baker Avenue and 2nd Street. Well, with more details on this, we go live to our Christopher Salas, who is standing by in Whitefish. Christopher.
Montana, in a report released by new city manager, Whitefish city manager Adam Hammond, he said this parking structure right here behind me will have exactly 214 parking spaces. Now, the top floor will have 75 spaces costing $30 each a month. The second floor will have 62 spaces costing $40 a month. And the bottom floor will be free with 77 spaces. In a city council meeting back in April of last year, city manager Chuck Stern said it's necessary these parking spaces are leased out to ensure they don't have to pay for maintenance with property taxes.
For one, I don't want to purchase a parking space. I don't want to spend the money on parking. And I'll try to get a parking space where I can, just like I always have.
Well, there is no parking in the city of Whitefish, and when we have to come to work and we have to find parking, it would be nice to know we had a specific spot.
Now, a ribbon cutting ceremony is set for May 18th. We'll be there for you when it happens and provide full coverage. For now, live in Whitefish, Christopher Salas, NBC Montana.
Well, one of Missoula's oldest buildings made its final stand early this morning before construction crews tore it down. NBC Montana's Karen Faringer found out how people can still keep a part of the old Missoula Mercantile's history for years to come. Karen.
Montana, the Merc may be coming down, but officials at Home Resource say they're making sure they'll salvage every piece of material that they can. Take a look at this video. Around 7:30 this morning, the Merc's roof came down. Crews are out working today with bulldozers to clear the area. Officials at Home Resource say they've been at the Merc for the past 7 weeks, salvaging what wood and tin they can so it can be repurposed. They hope by taking the building apart by hand and getting materials back to their shop that people can come by and get a piece of history. Home Resource officials say the Merc's wood still has to be denailed before it can be sold. They expect that to be in about a month. Reporting live in Missoula, Karen Faringer, NBC Montana.
Well, another boom to Montana's brewing industry. Today, plans were announced to build a $15 million malt factory in Butte. Now, according to the man behind the project, businessman Ron Euland, the factory would be located here at the Montana Connections Business Development Park. It would mean malt Montana-grown barley, which brewers would then use to brew beer. But Euland stresses it's not a done deal yet. The plant still needs the Council of Commissioners' approval.
You know, adding tax revenue to the community, it's, you know, creating small amount of jobs. You know, I think it's a win-win situation for, you know, the community overall. There's a lot of positives that can come from it. So, you know, I don't foresee this as being a real complicated issue for council to have to make a decision on.
The council could vote whether to approve it within the next month. We'll be following up and let you know. Well, new information tonight after we told you this morning about an explosion at the University of Idaho that sent 4 people to the hospital. 2 of them are still hospitalized. Here's what else we know right now. Now, the 4 were working on an experiment with a rocket last night. An initial investigation found that fuel in the rocket burned too fast, and that sparked the explosion.
When I did arrive, there were some students out here yelling for help. Emergency vehicles were just arriving on scene. I did see 4 people on the ground. Did not look like they were responsive, but there were other students as well as a faculty member here.
Now, the students belonged in the Northwest Organization of Rocket Engineers. Another student said the same rocket had been tested last week, and the students had reworked the fuel design for the engine. The university says all the students were alert and communicating. Well, coming up, we take a look at the damage left over from what officials call the mother of all bombs the U.S. dropped on Afghanistan. That story's next. Plus, a little later, the feds say this product for babies can be dangerous. We'll tell you what you need to know.
This is Ford Truck Month. Get Ford F-150 with best-in-class payload and gas mileage. That's how you become America's best-selling brand. Now with an extra $1,750 in trade assistance cash, get $96.92 in total value on F-150 only at your local Ford store.
Liberal politician Rob Quist wants to sing a duet with Nancy Pelosi. Government-run health care with higher taxes and more spending. The liberal greatest hits. Quist and Pelosi support a gun registry, taking away our Second Amendment rights. And they supported job-killing Washington regulations that threatened businesses right here in Montana. Liberal politician Rob Quist is singing the wrong tune for Montana. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
At Honda, we design cars that you'll love to drive, like the Accord. Fun to drive when you're getting away for some me time or even on your daily commute. Welcome to the Honda Dream Garage sales event. Test drive the Accord, named a Car and Driver 10 Best a record 31 times.
I'm Greg Gianforte, and I approve this message.
Can Rob Quist be trusted with our tax dollars? The Billings Gazette says Quist has a 16-year debt trail of unpaid taxes and bills. Rob Quist racked up 15 grand of unpaid property taxes. Quist refused to pay his credit card bills. And Quist cheated a Montana small businessman out of thousands of dollars. Rob Quist. Big taxes, big debt, big mistake. This is Ford Truck Month. Get Ford Super Duty with best-in-class towing and payload. That's how you become America's best-selling brand. Now with an extra $500 trade assistance cash, get $2,250 cash back on Super Duty. Only at your local Ford store.
Well, new tonight, our first chance to see the damage by what's been called the mother of all bombs after the U.S. dropped 11 tons of explosives on Afghanistan. Here's what else is new tonight, though. The White House settled on a North Korea strategy today. In a nutshell, maximum pressure and engagement. It comes as North Korea reportedly is poised to launch another nuclear test. Blaine Alexander reports.
Today, a first look at the impact from the so-called mother of all bombs dropped by U.S. forces, killing 36 ISIS fighters in Afghanistan.
This was the right weapon against this target.
This just days after the U.S. missile strikes on Syria. Now, growing tensions as the U.S. now stares down North Korea, the country defiantly poised to conduct another nuclear or missile test.
There's a reason no U.S. president in recent history has pulled the trigger on North Korea. You've got 20 million people in Seoul that would be a target.
The country is now marking the birthday of North Korean founder Kim Il-sung, a time the nation has typically chosen to flex its military muscles. But the U.S. reportedly considering either preemptive or retaliatory action, sending more ships to the region.
그런 말장난에 불과하지 않는가 하는.
North Korea issuing this stark warning. If provoked by the U.S., the nation is prepared to, quote, go to war. Nuclear expert Daryl Kimball says the tough talk only angering an opponent who won't back down.
We know that Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea, and Donald Trump are very concerned about their ego, their prestige. The North Koreans do not want to be seen as backing down. Neither does Donald Trump.
The president, spending the holiday weekend in Mar-a-Lago, has vowed North Korea will be handled as Vice President Mike Pence heads to South Korea in a show of solidarity. Blaine Alexander, NBC News, Washington.
Well, thousands watch to see the Pope and commemorate Good Friday in Rome. We'll take you there, plus a little later, find out where all the 20-somethings are moving. A new report that might surprise you. But first, here is our Heidi Miley with a look at what's coming up on Monday morning.
I'm Heidi Miley. The latest studies show that childhood obesity is still growing at alarming rates. Monday morning on NBC Montana Today, what's being done locally? We get started at 5 a.m. with your up-to-the-minute news and hour-by-hour forecast.
Get your forecast from the Severe Weather Alert team on NBC Montana.
There's nearly 300 millionaires in Congress, but not one Montana folk singer. After a career using my voice for the Montana we love, I will be a voice for you. To defend our public lands from private developers, fight for Montana farmers and ranchers, not Wall Street banks. And for health care we can afford. I'm Rob Quist, and I approve this message because there's enough millionaires in Washington, and I'll be a voice for the rest of us.
During the Jeep Spring Sales Event, see why there's no better place than being far from home. Going all out. Spending time with family. Taking the road less traveled. Braving the elements. And seeing the sights. Go farther at the Jeep Spring Sales Event. Well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2017 Jeep Cherokee Limited 4x4 for $220 a month.
Bring it on at the Sportsman Ski House. Young lifestyle fashions and accessories for guys and girls from your favorite brands. New swimwear from Volcom, Carr, Billabong, and more. Every day is an adventure. your brands, your style. Spring it on at the Sportsman Ski House, Kalispell and Whitefish.
I've been seeing Bree at Matt's Chiropractic for a little over a year now, and I've lost more than 100 pounds. I know without her help and support, I would not be where I am today. I can remember the first time that I felt my collarbone. I didn't even remember that I had one. I know with her continued support, I will be able to reach all of my goals and have the life I've always dreamed of having.
Please contact me today or attend an open house held every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Matt's Family Chiropractic, where our family takes care of your family and friends.
America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
And now Matt Gray with your forecast.
Welcome back. Not done with the snow today, and some of us are finding that out right now. Snow coming down in the Butte area. You can see that as we attempt to overlook Butte on our weather cam on the ridge high above the city. 35. We really take a big drop in temperatures over the past hour or two. Still hanging on to the 40s and dry everywhere else, but that will not be for long in the case for Bozeman. So Butte and Bozeman accumulating snow as we head through the evening and overnight hours. Now we will have a chance for some snow showers around Missoula and Kalispell later in the evening as well, but I don't expect much in the accumulation department, if anything. Out there on the roads, now as the snow has arrived in the I-90 corridor, expect some rapidly deteriorated conditions both on I-15 through Butte and I-90 through Butte, including Homestake Pass. Lost Trail Pass, a little slushy right now. And you can see that there, but the snow is really coming down, so we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for it to cool down enough to where we'll start to see accumulations on the roadways. So do expect that within the next few hours in the Lost Trail Pass area. Otherwise, this is the region you want to be looking for. So stretching from Butte to the Lost Trail area, north to around Georgetown Lake and Deer Lodge, that's where we're going to end up seeing the most snow impact, and then all the way north to Boulder as well as we head on through this at least early part of the evening, with other showers elsewhere in southwest Montana. Snowy roads tonight. Homestake Pass is a potential to see anywhere between 4 and 8 inches of snow. So that's the bullseye, folks, right there. Bozeman Pass gets in on the action later with 2 to 5 inches, 2 to 4 inches in the Monida Pass area, 3 to 6 inches possible on Lost Trail, Lolo Pass, and the Georgetown Lake area seeing accumulations as well, along with other areas across southwest Montana primarily. Now, there are showers elsewhere in the region today. We've seen some showers, a little bit of graupel mixed in there as well around the Flathead Valley. Showers hanging out to the south here as well around the Bitterroot and Missoula. But really here in southwest Montana, that is about what is going on. So here, future tracker, as we head towards 8:30, the I-90 corridor from Butte on to Bozeman, that's where we're going to see most of the action. Right there. And then as we head towards about 10 o'clock, heavier snowfall over Bozeman Pass and in the Bozeman area. That's where we're going to see most of the accumulation we expect. And a chance for a few snow showers as well around Missoula and Kalispell. As we head through the day on Saturday, we'll see showers move back into the region around the Missoula and Kalispell areas. Higher elevations, we'll see a shower or two, but it'll be a little bit more pleasant. Worst case scenario as far as snowfall goes, not all that much for the Missoula and Kalispell areas. Foothills around Butte could see up to around 5 inches or so. Areas around Bozeman as much as 4 inches possible here, with those two bigger bands of heavier snow through Gallatin County and then from the Salmon area all the way to Butte. Overnight, temperatures will be a little bit chilly. We get down to the 20s as things clear out late. 23 in Butte, 28 for Bozeman, 32 in Missoula, and 33 in Kalispell. For tomorrow, 40s around the Butte and Bozeman area, 50 for Missoula, 48 around Kalispell. A few showers, but more sunshine than we've seen here recently. And then Easter Sunday, folks, looking really spectacular compared to all the cloudy and wet weather that we've seen in recent days and recent weeks as well. Temperatures all the way up into the middle to upper 50s at times around the area. However, you got to enjoy that day. Get out and enjoy it. Rain and snow come back into the forecast Monday through Thursday. Another vigorous system providing wet weather for us all to enjoy. Of course, that just depends on your perspective. In the Missoula area, pretty similar, but I think showers end a little bit earlier on Thursday, so mostly dry on Thursday. Friday, for now, looking pretty good. So that's what we're taking a look at. Sunday, the day you'll want to get outside and kind of enjoy that nicer spring weather before we head back into the rain.
Well, it's perfect. This sunny day is going to be on Sunday for Easter. I'm sure
first time in a while.
People will enjoy that if they have any outdoor plans. All right, thanks, Matt. Well, we will be back in a minute, but first, here's what's coming up tonight on NBC Nightly News.
Ahead for us tonight, it's already a new day in North Korea and its most important holiday, leaving the U.S. on alert. Will Kim Jong-un flex his military muscle, and how? The flat rate model that's slashing the cost of doctor visits for more and more families, and make way for ducklings, the rite of passage at one elementary school guaranteed to leave you smiling. On NBC Nightly News.
This is NBC Montana, getting the facts right.
We as reporters are often running to things that other people are running away from. But the most important, impactful moments I've had in this business have not been sitting at a desk. They've been out there where the stories are happening.
It's the Ram Spring Clearance event. So long live the trucks with load leveling rear air suspension, class exclusive Ram box storage, and the convenience of Uconnect with an 8.4-inch touchscreen. They're nothing short of groundbreaking. The Ram Spring Clearance event is the only place to get America's longest-lasting pickups.
Well-qualified current lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2017 Ram 1500 4x4 for $285 a month.
U1045, finally a station for you. U1045 listeners are active, engaged, and community-minded, from Missoula to Bitterroot Valley. U1045 is a feel-good station. If it's not a hit, we don't play it. Listen to U1045 while hiking the M Trail, walking the dog, working at your desk, or playing with the kids at the park. U1045, finally a station for you.
Tick-tock, it's time to beat the clock at Ashley Home Store. Going on now. Get 20% off store-wide or get 60 months no interest, no money down, no minimum purchase. Shop complete room packages like this 5-piece dining set and find incredible deals like this reclining sofa, just $12.99, or this 2-piece living room, now just $13.49. Tick-tock, these savings won't last. Beat the clock. Going on now, only at Ashley Home Store. This is home. Shop now at ashleyhomestore.com.
This year, discover a world where dreams come alive, where traditions begin, and fun is at your fingertips, where the simplest moments fill a lifetime with memories, and every destination inspires and excites. The possibilities are limitless with an RV from Gardner's RV. Choose from a fantastic lineup of motorhomes and towables with brand new travel trailers as low as $149 a month. Come explore our great selection today or find us online at GardnerRV.com.
Watch NBC Montana News weeknights at 5, 6, and 10.
Pope Francis presided over the traditional Way of the Cross procession at Rome's Colosseum to mark Good Friday today. Thousands of faithful went through unusually tight security to get into the ancient arena near the Roman Forum. Security teams heightened anti-terrorism measures after several vehicle attacks in Nice, Berlin, and other European cities. And during the celebration, the Pope listened to meditations read aloud about how Jesus Christ suffered before he was crucified. The Stations of the Cross are a 14-step Catholic devotion that commemorates what's believed to be Jesus' last day on earth as a man. Well, for those celebrating the holiday in Montana, it sounds like there will be great weather and plenty of activities. NBC Montana's Barrett Tryon has another reason for you to get outside and enjoy.
Your entry is free to the nation's national parks beginning Saturday. The National Park Service once again partnering with the National Park Foundation to present National Park Week. It begins this Saturday, the 15th, and ends next Sunday, the 23rd. The National Park Service is giving you the chance to venture into the parks on the weekends for free. Just another good reason to get outside and enjoy our nation's parks. A new moving study reveals where millennials moved to last year. Mayflower Moving's annual Moving Insight study found San Francisco ranked #1 among U.S. cities millennials moved to in 2016. That was followed closely by Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Seattle, Chicago, and New York City. Rounding out the top 10 were Dallas, Texas, Denver, Colorado, Houston, Texas, and Atlanta. The #1 jelly bean flavor in Montana is cotton candy. That's according to a new survey out that poured over 9 years of sales data. Black licorice comes in at number 2 on the list, and grape comes in at 3rd. We'd love to know what's your favorite. Let us know on our Facebook page. And speaking of candy, Americans are expected to spend by the billions this Easter weekend. Candy sales are expected to top more than $3 billion alone. Clothing and Easter decorations are the other big spenders. That all totals up to some whopping $18 billion, the most ever. And that's your Consumer Watch. In Missoula, Barrett Tryon, NBC Montana.
Oh gosh, well, I don't know if I like any of those jelly bean flavors. Well, if you want to see how other states rank their jelly beans, we have that story posted on our app and on NBCMontana.com. Well, the feds are recalling teething tablets. Those are what parents use to help babies while they're teething. Here's what you need to look for: Hyland's Baby Teething Tablets and Hyland's Baby Nighttime Teething Tablets. Food and Drug officials say the tablets contain more of belladonna alkaloid than the packaging indicates. Officials say that's dangerous for kids. The manufacturer stopped making and shipping the products last fall. This announcement is to make sure it's off the shelves of stores. Well, we'll be back in a minute.
Liberal politician Rob Quist wants to sing a duet with Nancy Pelosi. Government-run healthcare with higher taxes and more spending. The liberal greatest hits. Quist and Pelosi support a gun registry, taking away our Second Amendment rights. And they supported job-killing Washington regulations that threatened businesses right here in Montana. Liberal politician Rob Quist is singing the wrong tune for Montana. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Tonight, see why critics are saying First Dates is definitely worth a second date.
Okay, I'm nervous. Let's do this. Cheers to first dates.
First Dates, tonight at 8/7 Central on NBC.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Fallon.
This place is great.
Tommy, please tell me you got that. I'd like some miso soup, because miso hungry.
Don't you ever talk to me like that again.
Why are you yelling at me?
Let's sing to the house.
That's unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, I'm a huge fan.
This is Ford Truck Month. And time to imagine what you can do in a 2017 Ford Super Duty, America's most capable heavy-duty pickup with best-in-class towing and payload. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand.
Sir, what do you think?
You had me at Truck Month. Now with an extra $500 trade assistance cash, get $2,250 cash back on Super Duty. Only at your local Ford store.
As construction season draws near, watch NBC Montana to see what areas of western Montana will be impacted and how this affects you.
Because infrastructure is required by all of us.
Getting the facts right and keeping you informed as we approach road construction this season.
I'm Greg Gianforte, and I approve this message.
Can Rob Quist be trusted with our tax dollars? The Billings Gazette says Quist has a 16-year debt trail of unpaid taxes and bills. Rob Quist racked up $15 grand of unpaid property taxes. Quist refused to pay his credit card bills. And Quist cheated a Montana small businessman out of thousands of dollars. Rob Quist. Big taxes, big debt, big mistake.
Well, 4 days and counting before your tax returns are due. And if you're planning on mailing yours, here's some critical information. The post office announced mail will be collected until midnight on the 18th. That's next Tuesday from the following Montana locations: Great Falls, Helena, Billings, and the main post office in Missoula. And make sure to add the right postage. Remember, it costs 49 cents for the first ounce. That's about 4 pages. And anything over that, add another 21 cents. Well, I still need to do that.
Just do it online, y'all. Just do it online, please.
Probably the easiest way.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, let's take a look at what we're seeing now as far as snowfall. And the snow is beginning around the Phillipsburg, Butte areas. Wisdom seeing it too. Lost Trail Pass. So over the next hour